Hello everybody, Toronto here, and today we are taking a look at another dev blog, this time the Colbert Heavy Cruiser, which is part of the Souverain class of heavy cruisers. Now this is going to be coming to the French tech tree at rank 4, and this was basically a heavy cruiser designed in the interwar period in response to the Italian Trento class. So we'll start off with the main armament, and it has 8 203mm guns in 4 dual turrets. So you've got 2 turrets at the bow and 2 turrets at the stern, which is pretty good. Means one shell can't take out most of your armament if it takes out the ammunition room. Now it also tells us that you will have access to high explosive and semi-armor piercing shells, and even better it says the explosive filler in both rounds is approximately the same, so of course you'll probably be better off going for the semi-armor piercing shell, in which case you get the best of both worlds. You get a really good high explosive filler and obviously armor piercing capability. Now I did look up the amount of explosive filler, and I must give some caution because I took this from the NavWeps website, which I used for my last video on French ships, and it turns out the NavWeps website was completely wrong. So just use this as a very rough guide, but it says 8.3 kilograms of explosive in the HE shell and 8.07 kilograms in the semi-armor piercing ballistic capped shell. Again, like I say, they gave the wrong figure last time, so use that as a very rough guide. It might be completely different in the game. In addition to this, it doesn't have the best secondary armament in the world. It's got 8 90mm guns in single barrel mounts, which is pretty good for anti-air work, and it will deal very good damage to enemy destroyers, but against other enemy cruisers it might suffer a little bit. And in addition to this, we have a tertiary armament of 37mm and 13.2mm guns. Now, the 13.2mm Hotchkiss guns are very useful in tank battles, although, again, in naval battles they are going to suffer from being a bit short-ranged, which is going to be a similar problem for the 37mm guns, though, of course, not as bad. In addition to the main armament, we have a bunch of torpedoes. We've got 2 triple torpedo mounts. Unfortunately, all the pictures are taken from the left side of the ship, but I think it's safe to say that it's 1 mount on each side of the ship. And then there's 4 spare torpedoes for reloading, so you've got a total of 10 available without reloading on the cap point. The armour is a bit of a sticking point. Basically, the armoured belt is only about 50mm, and the upper deck is reinforced to about 20 to 25mm. Again, this is the figures taken from the dev blog. Again, like with the last dev blog on French ships, they did potentially get some of the armour wrong, so again, this is just how it's going to be in game, not necessarily how it was in real life. But of course, that is pretty thin armour, so while it will deal well against enemy destroyers, and it does say it was supposed to be able to survive 1 torpedo hit, so it's not going to go down easily to weaker enemies, but against contemporary heavy cruisers it might suffer a little bit, at least with regards to the armour. Although, like I say, it's got pretty good guns, so if you can get the first hits in, you can quickly disable the enemy, and that will make your lack of armour less of an issue. Moving on to the mobility, it's a pretty decently fast ship, especially for a heavy cruiser, capable of 32 knots at top speed. So, yeah, that's a pretty good speed. It does make up a little bit for the lack of armour. And like I say, with your very good armament, you could quickly run rings about some smaller enemies. And lastly, we have 2 scout aircraft. And again, you can see the launchers seem to be about midships. They aren't going to be, strike aircraft. They're going to be more for scouting roles and maybe attacking some targets of opportunity. But again, like I say, they're a welcome addition, but they're not going to be a massive game changer. So yeah, this looks to be a very good heavy cruiser. Like I say, suffers a little bit in the armour, but very good in the other areas. And yeah, I think this will be a very good addition to the French naval tech tree, which by the looks of it is going to be coming out, at least in the closed beta form, in the next update. So hopefully in the next few months we will start seeing more information on the French naval tech tree. Anyway, just a quick video for today. I've been Toreno, and I'll see you next time.